Weeks ago, we showed you how to perform CPR on an adult. This time around, we wanted to show you how to perform CPR on a child and then also cover the topic of dry drowning, which is not really a scientific term, but it's in the news and we're going to break that down. I'd like to welcome back Greta Hall from St. John's Fire and Rescue. Welcome back to River City Live.
Thanks.
All right, so let's start out with child CPR and then we'll go into the whole dry drowning thing that's all over the news right now, because as a parent, your alert just goes up and you're like, I want to learn everything there is to know about that so it doesn't happen.
Okay.
So
absolutely.
with child CPR, obviously, if you look at the size difference between an adult anatomy and a child, it's different. So is the technique different, or what are we looking for here?
Absolutely, it's different. The concept of doing between a child, the anatomy, they want to say do between the ages of 1 and 8 for a child, and anyone under the age of 1 to birth is an infant. So if we're talking about a child, again, 1 to 8, you want to do your depth of compression 2 inches, just like an adult, and you want to do that 30 compressions to 2 breath ratio, again, just like an adult, but you may only need to use that one hand in the center of the chest to actually do those compressions. And that, again, that same sequence is just like an adult. You start with the compressions, you give the breaths, again, with that one hand. But when you get with an infant, anybody under 12 or that 12 months, you're only going to use those 2 fingers. So you're actually going to begin the process by doing compressions in the center of the chest at the nipple line with the 2 fingers. You're going to go 1.5 inches deep or 1/3 the depth of the chest. You're going to do your 30 compressions, and then you're going to do your head tilt chin lift, and you're going to give 2 breaths that way. With an infant, though, you'll actually use your mouth and you'll actually cover the nose and the mouth, because it's going to be really kind of hard to pinch their nose. You'll give 2 quick breaths, and then you'll just look for chest rise, and then you'll go back to doing that. And again, that's a 30 compression to 2 breath ratio as well. So it's a lot different than from doing it.
Definitely, especially with an infant, you know, a lot different technique. How hard are you pressing? And I know with adults, sometimes, you know, you could break a rib, and sometimes that happens. With an infant especially, they are so small and so delicate, there's not a lot of muscle tone on them. How hard, like how forceful?
You are going down that 1.5 inches, that 1/3 the depth of the compression, because you want to do a good quality of compression. You want to keep that blood circulating. So that's the priority. So that's where you need to kind of keep that rate, that speed of 100 to 120 beats. It's all across the board. So that's one of the things you really just want to really concentrate on. It's don't worry about hurting the baby in that aspect. You want to keep that blood circulating. You've got to keep that heart pumping.
And then, you know, another thing that I hear time and time again, let's just say if that happens and an infant stops to breathe, or a person for that matter, somebody has to right away start performing CPR, but you have to designate someone to call for help.
Absolutely. A lot of people forget that, or they'll be in a crowd of people and they'll just say, somebody call 911. And what happens usually if you yell, call 911 in a crowd, either everyone calls or nobody will. So it's really important to be specific. Point out someone in a crowd, call 911. If there's an AED available, ask somebody to go get the AED. If you're in a business, remember to get management or security. Those are trained people. A majority of times, they can actually help you render care to that particular person.
Those are great tips. You know, now let's shift gears a little bit and then talk about dry drowning. I know over our conversations in our email, when I said, can you talk about that? You're like, well, dry drowning, it's not really a scientific term. So can you just, again, just give us an overview of it and what's really happening?
Well, drowning is wet. It's water. So when somebody inhales water, there's water obviously in the lungs. Sometimes it may not happen within the pool. It may happen hours after a child gets out of the pool, between 1 and 24 hours after they've left the pool. And it's usually after an episode has happened where they've struggled and they've inhaled some water. Usually it doesn't happen that often. It's extremely rare. But what parents just basically need to watch for is if they have coughing a lot, or if they say their chest is heavy or their shoulders hurt. Always prevention is key, supervision. But if a parent is concerned, they really just need to take their child to the physician.
And one of the things you started out with your explanation, if there was an episode. So basically what you're saying too, if I took one of my kids to the pool and they struggled and they had a pretty rough bout with water, then that right there is a trigger. There could be the possibility that there's water in there, right? So then I'm looking for the other things to go along with it. Them being fatigue, trouble breathing, right? Like, is that, so, but there's got to be somewhere an indication right? That fluid actually went into them.
Yeah, they're going to show you those signs. They're going to be the complaining. They're going to be they're going to be really sensitive. They're going to be maybe really extremely fussier than normal, or they're going to be extremely coughing, maybe vomiting, those kind of things. So that's something that's going to trigger the spidey sense that we parents have that
to
say,
take it to the next level. Well, Greta, where can people go to learn more about this? Obviously, there's so much to learn with both topics.
Absolutely.
What do you recommend?
I recommend that if somebody wants to learn more about CPR in St. Johns County, the St. Johns County Fire Rescue website has CPR classes listed for our community classes on our website. Heart.org with the American Heart Association, there's a finder class. They can just simply go there and put their zip code in. And find a local class. But if you have young children, we live in Florida. Our kids are always in water.
Sure.
Highly recommend all parents learning how to do CPR.
I agree.
Always.
Well, Greta, thank you for all the information. We'll have everything linked on our website, rivercitylivetv.com. We'll be back right after this.